I am joined here today by one of our Nauka and Socrates Coin partners, Emilio López-Vidriero, and it's such a pleasure to have you here because the work that you've been doing is incredible. Just, everything, the care and love that you put into everything of being, one of the top surgeons in minimal invasive sports surgery. So it's just so great to have you here.
Well, thank you very much. That's a great introduction.
Absolutely. Maybe tell us a little bit more about your background and all the years of work that you've put into what you're doing to reach the level of excellence where you are now.
Okay, so my background begins in Spain. So I did my studies of medicine in Madrid. I also did my PhD, so that way I could combine the basic knowledge with learning how to do research and getting a little bit have a perspective on what I wanted to do. And that's when I realized I wanted to get into sports and into orthopedic surgery. I was also an athlete myself, so I had injuries. So it's always good that you want to combine both things into one certain and make your life out of it. So I then did my orthopedic residency in Seville, and then I moved to US. So I was in one of the best sports medicine centers for research, which is in Pittsburgh, with Freddie Fu. He's a very famous surgeon who treats more or less high-end athletes in the United States. And there I learned a lot about what I could do that I didn't know about. So I think to me the most important thing there was to learn about perspective. So I had a bigger perspective on what my career could be if I put the effort in it. Then I realized that I wanted to do a clinical fellowship, which means that you do a subspecialty in a sports surgery. So I began in Barcelona with one of the persons who treats all the football players in Europe. His name is Ramon Cugat. He's very well known, but also a very good person, so he taught me about that. And then after that, I decided to go to Canada. So I stayed in Canada for 2 years, and I did a sports medicine fellowship, and I also did an upper extremity fellowship. So I did there, I was treating elite athletes, but also university athletes and also normal people who are also into sports. And that's where I got my full background and perspective on research, clinical and surgical aspects of my profession. Then I had different offers all around the world because I've been lecturing and because of my research. Yeah, so once I finished in Canada, I had different offers because I was lecturing all around the world because of my research. So I had offers in the United States, I had offers in Qatar, in Aspire, and I had also different offers in Europe. But I decided to go back home because when I was a student, I had no perspective on what I could do and I was kind of lost. So I thought it would be good to combine my knowledge to mentor others and also to create a sports medicine clinic, which when I needed it, they didn't exist. So at this point, what I did is I came back home, I came to Seville, I built up an international sports medicine clinic, which is my clinic now, it's MEC, and there is where we treat elite athletes and normal people who are willing to have the same treatment as elite athletes. So we try to be always cutting edge, we keep on learning, and I hire different aspects, different professionals that would have a global treatment on the athlete, because it's not only about the surgery, it's also about the sports medicine, so risk factors and how they need, what they need, and also post-surgical treatment, physiotherapy, and also the athletic trainers or readaptators, as we like to call. So they're basically subspecialized in injured players, and we bring them to the gym and we bring them to the pitch or to the field or the court, wherever they practice, but to treat them. So we have a global vision on that. Then lately we hire a psychologist and we also have an endocrinologist. So we're trying to get the whole perspective on the treatment of the athlete. And that, I think that helps us a lot. And we're also a teaching center, so we teach people from all around the world who come to learn with us. They not only come to the clinic, but also come to the surgical OR, and they also go to the high performance center where we deal with them and we help them to do research and we treat the high performance athletes. So we're trying to combine all that vision that I had, and luckily I'm able to do that. Yeah. So lately I had a very nice offer from one of the London Premier League teams, Watford Football Club. They were having more injuries than expected, and that's something that I'm really happy with, because I can combine my knowledge and my practice and bring it to the team. So hopefully shortly we'll be able to help them also with that.
Wow, that's incredible. Congratulations on all that success. I mean, for me, just listening to more of your story in depth, what I'm just curious at is, what is your drive? You know, like, what has got you to make all these moves from different countries and changing the language and stuff?
So it's been always learning. So it's learning more and being able to treat the patients better, because it's very frustrating when you want to help, but you don't have the knowledge. So in my time, and I'm not that old, but we didn't have internet, we didn't have all those resources, and basically surgery, you needed to study in a book, but that's not enough. So you need to go elsewhere. So that's what brought me to different places, and my drive has been always learning and then bringing that knowledge to other people so they don't suffer what I did. And basically, mentorship, it's something that in Spain basically doesn't exist, and I think building up a mentorship possibility or facility, or just to mentor people, I think that will be, to me, really fulfilling. So that's one of my visions.
Absolutely, 100%. I that really resonates with me, because I see there's a curiosity inside you, you know, that brings you from, you know, next step to next step. And I think that's kind of what also brought you here together with us, right? This vision of mentoring and teaching and actually being able to globally spread your message. So tell me a little bit about how the partnership with Nauka and Socrates Coin came together, and how do you feel about it? What impact do you think that you're going to be able to make with this partnership?
So definitely it's the best combination, because it's knowledge but cutting edge technologies combined. So for me, I think probably the best added value of this is you can teach or mentor whoever in the world. So that opens the door to whoever is interested in learning and whoever is interested in going further. So I think that would be really fulfilling for me, and also, you know, all the connections that I have, all the people that I know will be able also to help. So I don't know everything, but I know that bringing other people with us can help a lot. So I think, to me, being linked to an international university that it's spread worldwide and also has the same ideas that we have in terms of helping people, mentoring people, and getting a better world, I think that's the perfect combination.
I completely agree. And also, from what I'm hear you're saying is, you know, you're not a person that ever wants to limit yourself. You know, like you kind of, you know, you don't have fun with limitations, and suddenly opening the doors to students, you know, no matter what their income background, because there's probably incredibly talented doctors all over the world, you know, in countries where they might not have those means to go to university or train, and they, you know, they might be at home and they're trying and they're watching YouTube videos and they need a little bit more instruction, they need a little bit more of that. So I think what's also going to happen is we're suddenly going to get this whole new generation of leaders and innovators and artists that are going to be creating and you know, developing our society even more and more. So it's like the paradigm shift is happening. So I mean, this is incredible. I can't wait to see what you're going to teach, you know, all these new keen students that really want to learn from the best, right? Because that's something else that we're able to execute with being a global university. We don't have to restrict our professors and say, well, okay, you have to move now to this city and you have to be here and this is your office, but you can go on living your mission and working your work that you need to do, right? And you can be in London and you can be in Sevilla, but at the same time, you're also going to be able to be teaching wherever you want to be.
I completely agree with you, because I've been teaching all around the world. So I've been in Dubai, I've been in South Africa, I've been in all this last year, I've been probably 35 weeks out teaching elsewhere. And I always learn more than what I teach. So I see very bright people all around the world. They like to share their ideas, but you see their frustration because I'm only there for 1 or 2 days. I teach them how to do surgery. I teach them my tricks, but then I leave, and even if they still in touch, it's not the same. And the other thing, and I like to stress this, is to me, balancing my professional life with my family life and personal life, it's something that at this moment is very important. I have 2 kids, they need their dad at home, and combining that, it was a very stressful thing to me because I didn't know how to balance that. I think with Nauka and Socrates coin, that can also help me to have a better life, and that will help me to help others.
100%. That resonates with me a lot because last year I spent the whole year speaking. So I spoke in 25 different cities all over the world, and I was always on the plane. And even though, you know, you might be someone on a mission and with purpose and wanting to give to the world, you as a person also have to sleep and eat and be with your family and have enough time where you're able to incubate and re-energize and then to have enough to give then, you know. So I think that, you know, even in just in this conversation, I'm realizing how many more, you know, problems we're solving right now. So that's pretty exciting. And maybe, I guess, just to finish off, let me know what your views are on, you know, the current state of education, or how you, because I mean, you've been in so many different learning facilities as well as, like, you know, what do you see with the current system? What could have been better for you, you know, to teach your path, and what do you think we can do better in the future?
So I think the transition to the new technologies, it's difficult. It depends on the country. So in those terms, I see people who have a lot of resources, but basically they're lost because too many resources, they disorientate you. So having a single university or a single platform that you can go to always, that allows you to be focused, so you don't have to lose your time looking for information. You know, you'll have the right information in the right place. That's for sure the one of the added values of the university itself.
100%, absolutely. And the other thing also, what I'm just, you know, realizing, because I'm just excited to take your course, you know, I'm like, I can't wait to learn more, even though I might not be a doctor and I might not have the background, but actually as humans, we want to be differently skilled, right? You know, so many people you see at university, they'll start maybe in law and then they'll change, right? So I think that now we're also going to find having deeper skills, and it would actually be good for me to know more about medicine, because like you said, if I'm injured and I go to a doctor who might not exactly know the right treatment plan, the more I'm informed, the more I'll be able to make decisions around my health, you know?
Yeah, I think, and completely agree with you, it's very good to have an holistic view.
Exactly.
So we have to be subspecialized in something to be able to help, but you need to be familiar with what the others do, and so that way you could help. So that's, in sports medicine, that's the greatest thing, because you need to know about a lot of stuff that it's around the athlete, but then you need to know a lot about yours. So the holistic view that you can have in a single platform, that it's also very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm so excited to see what else you're going to bring to the world and to watch your story. So thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.